Hello, this time we're looking at how to divide a polynomial by another polynomial. And in most cases at GCSE, in the additional maths and at A level, you're just going to have to divide by a linear polynomial. And so we've just got these three examples to look at, but the method that we're going to use to make these divisions, there's three parts to it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to divide. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply, and then the third thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract. And then we repeat, and we do that for each of the terms moving across. It's very similar to long division of numbers, but a little different because we can't just mush the numbers together like we would when you have the remainder and you put it onto the next number as the new tens and the new numbers to the units. Anyway, it'll make more sense if we apply these three steps on the examples, and you can see how it works. So inside the bus stop, if you call it that, in the long division symbol, we're going to write out the polynomial we are dividing, and outside we're going to write out what we're dividing by. And then step one is to divide. Now we take the first item, we're just going to divide it by the x. We're not going to divide it by the 3 at the moment. That's because the x cubed term is found only by the x times an x squared term, and so to find out the x squared term we only need to divide by this. Whereas the x term will be found by, this x squared term is found by x times some linear x and 3 times the squared x. And because we've got 2 bits of that, we can't work that out yet. But if we follow this pattern, we'll see how much is made from the 3, and then we can find out the difference, and then we can carry on. If that didn't make sense, don't worry, it makes more sense when you actually do it. So, step 1, divide. What is 3x cubed divided by x? It is 3x squared, and we like to keep everything lined up, so we're going to put 3x squared on the x squared column. That's a 2. And now we multiply. So we're going to times this back, but this time we're going to multiply it by the whole thing. So we've got 3x squared times x, which is 3x cubed. And we've got 3 times 3x squared, which is 9x squared. And then we're going to do the next thing, which is the last thing, which is subtract. So we're going to subtract these two. Now, 3x cubed and 3x cubed is going to give us 0. 5x squared minus 9x squared is going to give us minus 4x squared. Okay, now we could just write the rest of it down here as well, so minus 11x plus 3, but really we only need the next bit, so we'll just bring that one down for now, just so that, because each time we divide, when we multiply and subtract, we just need the next term to be involved. So we're just going to bring that one down. And we go back to the beginning, the dividing phase. So ignore all of this now, we don't need any of this now, it's this bottom line that we're dealing with. And just like before, we're just going to divide the first thing we've got, obviously not the 0, dealt with that one, this first thing just by x. Minus 4x squared divided by x is minus 4x. Keep it lined up. And then we go back to multiplying. So minus 4x times x plus 3. Well, minus 4x times x is minus 4x squared. Minus 4x times 3 is minus 12x. And then the third step is we subtract, so we take these away from each other. Minus 4x squared minus minus 4x squared is nothing. Minus 11x minus minus 12x gives me positive x plus 1x. And I'm just going to bring down that plus 3 because I'll need it a bit later. Okay, and that's that cycle done. So back to blue to do our divide. And obviously we've dealt with this one, that's why it says 0. Now we do x divided by x, which is 1, so plus 1. We then multiply it back. Plus 1 times x is x. Plus 1 times 3 is 3. And finally, we do our subtract. X take x is nothing. 3 take 3 is nothing. And so we found there's nothing left to divide. It has gone in exactly 3x cubed plus 5x squared minus 11x plus 3 divided by x plus 3 is 3x squared minus 4x plus 1. That's our answer up here. And there's no remainder. Sometimes there is a remainder. If this had come out as a, if this had multiplied back and it had been 3 take 5, then the remainder would have been minus 2. And that's okay. You just report that there is a remainder. Okay, second example. So the question is 2 2x minus 1 is being divided into 4x cubed plus 6x squared minus 10x plus 4. And then we repeat our three actions. We divide. We divide the first thing by just the x term. So 4x cubed divided by 2x, well, 4 over 2 is 2. X cubed over x is x squared. That was nice and easy. Now we times it back. 2x squared times 2x is 4x cubed. Well, that's good because we always want those ones to subtracting of 0, so that's good that that worked. 2x squared times minus 1 is minus 2x squared. Remember to keep all the squareds, all the cubes, all in their columns, so that you keep track of things. Third task is to subtract. 4x cubed, 0. 6x squared, take minus 2x squared. Remember, we're subtracting, so we actually get 8x squared. And let's just bring down the next one because I will need it a little bit later. Back to the top for a divide. So 8x squared divided by 2x. 8 over 2 is positive 4. X squared over x is x. I'm going to multiply that back. That's our next step. So 4x times 2x is indeed 8x squared. 4x times minus 1 is minus 4x. And step 3 is we're going to subtract these two things. 8 and 8, x squared is 0. Minus 10 minus 4 is going to give us minus 6x. And we're going to bring down the plus 4 as well. And now we do exactly the same thing again. We're going to go back to our divide. Minus 6x divided by 2x. Well, that's going to be minus 3. And the x's cancel. And then we're going to multiply it back. Minus 3 times 2x is indeed minus 6x. Minus 3 times minus 1 is going to be positive 3. And then our final step is to subtract minus 6x, take minus 6x is nothing. 4 take 3 is 1. So in this case we have divided it, but the answer is 2x squared plus 4x minus 3, remainder 1, because we had a remainder left over there. So it didn't divide in precisely. And we've got one more example to do, and not a lot of space, but never mind. Now in this case, we've only got x cubed and plus 1, but it's a good idea to leave the gap. So actually, I'm not sure I've got space here, so what I'll do is I'm just going to clear away this side, and we'll do it over here because we need a bit more space. So if you need all of that bit, then you'll have to rewind the video to see that bit again. So the division is x minus 1 into x cubed, leave a space for x squared, leave a space for x, and then plus 1. And you'll see why we leave that space in a minute, because we will perhaps generate those terms and we need it to make sense still. So the first step is to divide. So we do x cubed divided by x, which is x squared, and we put it in the x squared column. Our second step is to multiply, so we times it back. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times minus 1 is minus x squared. And then our step 3 is to subtract. Now, of course, this is nothing, so x cubed take x cubed is nothing. This is nothing, but take x squared is going to give us minus x squared. Sorry, plus, because it's taking away. It's nothing, take away minus x squared. Watch out for that, it's really easy to make that mistake. who knows, I might have made it in this very video, and then I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments if I've messed something up. Right, back to this. So I've done my 3 steps, so back to dividing. So there's nothing to bring down here, by the way, because there wasn't a linear term, so there's nothing to bring down here, that's fine. So here we're going to do the same thing. X squared divided by x, well, that is plus x. Again, line it up with that blank linear term here. Step 2 is to multiply it back. X times x is x squared. X times minus 1 is minus x. And step 3 is to subtract. X squared take x squared is nothing. Nothing take away minus x is positive x. And this time we can bring something down. We'll bring down the plus 1. And we go back to our division. So x divided by x is plus 1. And then we times it back. 1 times x is x. Wait a minute. Got to change my colour. 1 times x is x for the multiplication. 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. And then when we subtract this, we're going to say x minus x is 0. 1 minus minus 1 is 2. So again, we've got a question. Either I've done it wrong, or we've got a question where the remainder, it has a remainder. So the answer would be x squared plus x plus 1, remainder 2. So that's it. That's how you divide a polynomial by another one. Each separate part is nice and easy. Dividing a single x term by another x term, you can do that. Multiplying a single x term by 2 terms to get, it's like expanding brackets, you can do that. Subtracting is just collecting like terms. But, so each bit is easy, but the whole thing is difficult because you can't make a mistake. A little number mistake here, or forgetting that is 6 minus minus 2 to give 8. Forgetting things like that, and just little slip-ups up here will just filter the whole thing wrong all the way down. Especially when there's remainders, you just always doubt, well, you know, have I done it right? Is it supposed to divide in properly? There are ways to check that with the factor theorem and the remainder theorem, but that is another video. If you still have questions or comments about that, then you can put them down below in the comments section, but otherwise, ta-ra for now.